Some stories are not told for attention. They're told because keeping them inside becomes heavier than carrying pain itself. My name is Hani Ia. I am 21 years old. For a long time, I stayed silent. Not because I was weak, but because I was taught that silence is patience, and patience is strength. But today, I speak for myself and for many others who still cannot. My life was simple once. Our home was small, but it was full of laughter. My father's voice echoed in every room, my mother's prayers filled our mornings, and I felt safe. Then one day, everything changed. When my father passed away, silence entered our house like an uninvited guest. My mother tried her best, but grief and financial pressure became too heavy. Soon, we had to leave our home. That was when my uncle, my father's elder brother, stepped forward. He looked at my mother and said gently, "Don't worry. Hani Ia is like my own daughter. She will stay with us until she completes her studies." Those words felt like a blessing. A brother stepping in. A family protecting its own. My mother believed him. I believed him. As she hugged me goodbye, she whispered, "You'll be safe there, my child." I still remember that moment clearly because it was the last time I felt truly safe for a long time. When I arrived at my uncle's house, everything looked perfect. A big home, clean floors, expensive furniture, quiet hallways. From the outside, it looked like a dream. But sometimes, the most dangerous places were the most beautiful masks. My aunt welcomed me with a smile that did not reach her eyes. My cousin spoke politely, but avoided long conversations. And my uncle, he was kind, too kind. At first, I thought I was lucky. I told myself, God has protected me. But I didn't know then that not every family member deserves your trust. And not every smile carries good intentions. That house looked peaceful. But slowly, I began to feel something was wrong. And that was only the beginning. At first, I tried to adjust to my new life. I helped my aunt in the kitchen, focused on my studies, and stayed quiet. I didn't want to be a burden. I didn't want to create problems. I reminded myself that this was family. But slowly, the house began to feel different. My uncle was not the same person when others were not around.
His voice changed.
His eyes stayed on me longer than they should have. Sometimes, late at night or early in the morning, he would enter my room without knocking, pretending to ask if I needed anything. Each time, my heart would start beating fast. I didn't know how to explain what I was feeling. There were no words, only fear. I told myself I was imagining things. I blamed my own thoughts. I tried to believe that elders cannot be wrong. But fear does not come without reason. The house itself felt heavy. It was quiet, but not peaceful. It was the kind of silence that makes you listen carefully to every sound. At night, I could hear whispers. My aunt often cried in her room. My cousins avoided my eyes, as if they were ashamed or afraid. Everyone in that house lived under my uncle's control. He decided what we ate, where we went, and what we said. One small mistake could turn into anger. I still remember one evening clearly. At dinner, my cousin accidentally dropped a glass. The sound was small, but my uncle's reaction was not. He slammed his hand on the table so hard that everyone froze. His face turned red. His voice filled the room like thunder. No one spoke. No one breathed. In that moment, I understood something painful. This was not a home. It was a cage. Weeks passed. My uncle began asking questions about my college, my friends, my clothes, questions that felt too personal. When I stayed quiet, he became angry. My aunt remained silent, her eyes empty, like someone who had already lost hope. One day, when no one else was around, she whispered to me, "Hani Ia, never be alone in a room with him. Never." Her hands were shaking. That was the moment I knew. I was not imagining anything. And I was not the first one to suffer. That night, I locked my door for the first time. And fear became my constant companion. From that night onward, I lived carefully. I locked my door every evening. I slept with my phone in my hand, afraid that one wrong moment could change my life forever. Every morning, I put on a brave face and went to college. People saw me smiling. No one knew that inside, I was breaking slowly. I wanted to tell my mother the truth, but how could I? She trusted my uncle completely. I didn't want to destroy her faith or fill her heart with guilt. So, I stayed silent and prayed. Then one evening, everything changed. My uncle came home angry after a phone call. He shouted at my aunt, then turned toward me with rage in his eyes. "You think you can live here for free?" he yelled. "This is my house. You will follow my rules." My hands began to shake. That night, sitting alone on my bed, tears fell silently as I whispered, "I cannot stay here anymore." That was the moment fear turned into determination. I began planning quietly. I called my mother and told her that my college was offering hostel accommodation due to study pressure. She believed me. That lie saved my life. Before I left, my aunt came to me in the kitchen. Her voice was low, her hands trembling. "You're doing the right thing, honey Ie," she said. "Leave this house before it destroys you too." I hugged her tightly. In her eyes, I saw years of silent suffering. She could not escape, but I could. That night, when everyone was asleep, I packed my bag. Each sound felt loud. Each step toward the door felt heavy. When I finally stepped outside, my heart was racing. But with every step away from that house, I felt a piece of myself returning. At the bus stop, I looked back one last time. A big, beautiful house, hiding so much darkness inside. I whispered to myself, "Even if no one believes me, I know the truth." And then I walked away. Away from fear. Away from silence.
And toward freedom.
But freedom, I soon learned, does not come all at once. When I left that house, I believed I was free. But freedom doesn't arrive in one moment. Sometimes it comes slowly in pieces. For many nights, I couldn't sleep. Every small sound made me jump. Every male voice made my heart race. I had escaped the house, but the memories followed me. I moved into a small hostel near my college. My mother still believed I was there only for my studies. I wasn't ready to tell her the truth. I avoided people. I stopped trusting anyone. Often, I sat by the window, staring outside, asking God quietly, "Why me?" Then one day, a small light entered my life. My professor, Miss Nadia, noticed my silence. After class, she gently asked, "Honey Ie, you look tired. Is everything all right?" For the first time, I spoke. Not every detail, but enough. She listened without interrupting, without judgment. Then she said words that changed me forever. "Silence protects the guilty, not the innocent. You did nothing wrong." Those words broke my pain and began my healing. I started writing every night. My fear, my anger, my tears. Slowly, the weight became lighter. Then one afternoon, my mother called. Her voice was shaking. "Your uncle has been arrested." I froze. My aunt had finally spoken. Years of silence ended. Justice, though delayed, had arrived. When my mother hugged me later and cried, I held her and said, "It's over. Let's not live in the past anymore." That pain gave me purpose. I joined a women's awareness group. I spoke publicly for the first time, my hands shaking, my voice trembling. Sometimes, I said, the monster doesn't live outside. Sometimes it lives inside our own home. The room was silent. Many eyes were wet. Today, I stand stronger. The scars remain, but they no longer control me. Moral message. There are many girls like Hani Ie, silent, scared, and trapped behind beautiful walls. If you are suffering, speak up. Tell someone. It is not your shame. It is their sin. Your voice has power. And sometimes, one voice can save a life.